Today's tough question is now, and it deals with some preseason awards that the Vols have received, but maybe slotted a bit.
Today's tough question. Take a side. Take a stand. The Dave Hooker Show, a presentation of offthehooksports.com.
All right, so 3 players were named on the coach's All-SEC team. Bru McCoy on the second team, Javontez Spraggins and Cooper Mays on the third team. All 3 were on the media's All-SEC, along with Joe Milton, the third. Who else should be on there? And this is brought to you by Zen Sports, the new sports book in Tennessee, revolutionizing the way you earn sports betting rewards. That means no more deposit bonuses that turn into deposit nightmares. On Zen Sports, what you see is what you get. And with their cash rewards program, you get a lot of cash. For a welcome bonus, earn an unlimited 5% cash back on your betting volume for your first 15 days when you sign up with promo code HOOKED, HOOKED. Got to be all caps. I figured that out yesterday. That's right. Unlimited 5% cash back. Keep betting, keep earning with up to 3% cash back on your betting volume every month after that. And refer friends to earn a percentage of their betting volume as cash rewards too. Zen Sports bringing the cash back to Tennessee. So if you bet big on sports, you want to be betting on Zen Sports. Zen Sports betting just got better. So what player would be next in line to get on one of these lists, Jimmy? If you had to pick just one, then we'll dive a little bit deeper into some more.
Well, with apologies to Caleb, I'm going to go with Aaron Beasley because he was terrific against Clemson, a game that shouldn't have counted. I understand that. The Orange Bowl never happened. Tennessee's record was actually 10-2. I get that. But I'm going to go Aaron Beasley. I thought he was terrific against Clemson. He played his natural position of weak side linebacker. They've got now Keenan Peely to play in the middle. It's going to free Beasley to make more plays, to make more tackles, to make more sacks. I had him on my All-SEC team, maybe second or third team with Lindy's. But he was very strong on my list. I got 2 others if you want me to share them now. Or
no, go for it. Go for it.
Omari Thomas, defensive tackle. I think he's a really good football player. He is going to help Tennessee's pass rush. He may not have a lot of sacks, but he's going to apply interior pressure. He's going to force the quarterback out of the pocket with his inside rush. And when the quarterback has to escape the pocket, there might be somebody else there to make the sack. But I think Thomas is a really good pass rusher, really good run stopper. I think he is overlooked. He's gotten better and better and better. I would have him on there. I think I had him second team. Here's the other one that I like. Now, I realize that the distribution of carries could impact him. Jalen Wright, I like him a lot. I think he was their best running back last year. He gained over 800 yards. I think he's going to be a 1,000-yard rusher this year. I think Jabari Smiles is going to get hurt because he does every year. And I think that's going to be more carries for Jalen Wright. So I think he's going to be over 1,000 yards. I'm not saying first or second team, but third team. I think he'll be one of the 5 or 6 best running backs in the SEC this year.
Caleb, what about you? If you were to pick 1, 2, or 3 that could be on this list, who would it be?
Aaron Beasley, come on, Caleb.
No. I'm with Jimmy on Amari, though, but nope, it's not going to be Aaron Beasley because I think Arian Carter might become a bigger star than Aaron Beasley by the middle of this year at linebacker.
Oh, okay.
I've been saying that for a while. I keep putting – Dave knows I keep talking about this guy. But, Jimmy, I still think it's got to be Tyler Barron. I think Tyler Barron now is the time to step up. He lost his starting job to Byron Young 2 years ago, even though he was a highly touted recruit. He then hit the transfer portal. Came back, was a rotational player last year alongside Roman Harrison. Byron Young is gone. Tyler Barron should be a superstar edge rusher in the SEC. And so I kind of consider it almost shameful for him if he's not an all-SEC player to a certain degree. So I'm high on Tyler Barron. I would have put Squirrel White on there. I think Squirrel White is just going to rack up yards on yards on yards. And here's a crazy one, guys. What about D. Williams as a punt returner? As a return specialist?
Possibility. Yeah, I like how you say Squirrel White. It's almost like he hasn't done enough to get into the season. But Jimmy and I, you and I've talked. He could have a monster season and be a lock for this list at the end of the year.
Dave, what was his best game last year? It was Clemson. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I think Squirrel White is – here's the thing about Squirrel White. I think he's going to have a big year. I think his yards per catch is going to make a lot of big plays. I think Bru McCoy is going to overshadow him. I think McCoy is going to end up with more catches, more yards, more touchdowns. But I think Squirrel White is going to have these games where he's going to pop off some 40-yard catches, and he's going to be impressive. Here's the other thing about Squirrel White. He is so quick. He can take that bubble screen or an inside pass or a little quick screen, and he can take a 4 or 5 yard gain and turn it into 20 or 25. He's that quick. He's that elusive. The first guy's going to have a lot of difficulty stopping him. I think Squirrel White's going to be Tennessee's second best receiver behind Bru McCoy.
I could see that. Any other dark horse guys that shouldn't be on this list right now that could take the major leap and be on it by the end of the year? I'll pick one guy that if it clicks, and that's a big if, I think is maybe the most physically talented big guy, Elijah Simmons. Now, I think it's got to click for whatever reason upstairs. It hasn't clicked. I would take that. Any other dark horse guys from either of you that have to take a big step to get there, don't deserve to be there yet, but might be at the end of the year?
Jacob Warren.
Oh, absolutely.
What if Jacob Warren has a 40-catch season? What if he is used as versatile as Tennessee did with Princeton Fant, where Fant caught touchdown pass, ran for touchdown, threw a touchdown? I did ask Warren at the SEC football media days about his arm, and he said, I can throw a spiral. So I think he's up for the task of being used in a versatile way like Fant. So that's one. Here's another guy, and there's a lot of unknown about him, but all I've heard are great things out of camp. Keenan Peely at linebacker. Mm-hmm. He may be a guy that racks up 100 tackles at that position. He's 25 years old. He's married. He's mature. He's been around a long time. He's shown a lot of leadership. He's taken to the system very well. I think he's a guy to watch for. By the end of the year, we might be talking about him as an All-SEC candidate.
Yeah, and I would add a guy that's not going to make the list because I don't think he's going to have enough touches. But Dylan Sampson, I think, will be that type of a player for Tennessee this year. But he's not. I don't think he's going to get enough touches to get real consideration for postseason awards. Caleb?
Jimmy. All right, yes. Tough one for you. Somebody from the secondary you have to pick as a potential all-SEC caliber player.
Oh.
Who would it be?
None.
That's not an answer. You got to name one. You got to name one.
Joe Nunn.
Where's 00 on your program, but he's number one in your heart.
Yeah. He got a 5-star heart. Gosh, I'm sitting here looking at
reference.
So, Kudos.
The guy that, he's in a little bit of, I don't know if he's even going to start the first game. I can't go Jalen McCullough. I don't think Camille had. I tell you what, I'm going to go with another transfer, and I think his name is jeudy-lally.
Yeah, Gabe Jeudy-lally. Yeah.
Lala. Yeah. Went to Vanderbilt, then Brigham Young, and he's at Tennessee. He's had a nice camp, unless he's really good. I just don't see. Now, I'll say this. Maybe it's Danico Slaughter. Maybe he comes out and has a big year. I think Tamarion McDonald playing the star position took to that position last year and did a good job. So I don't know. Maybe McDonald is the best defensive back they've got playing the star position. I'll go McDonald.
I'm going to stick with, I like Danico Slaughter, and it's purely based off flashes. And I realize I'm in the minority, but I've seen little flashes of Twitch that I think that he could be really good, and not just kind of good, but really good. Now he's got to prove it, and he hasn't to this point, pardon me, on a consistent basis. But I guess I'm going to stay on that bandwagon. You mentioned Gabe Jeudy-Lally. The thing I loved about him, I don't know if you saw this quote when he started the season. He was like, "I'm showing up. I don't care if I start. I don't care what position I play. I just want to win." And that culture is something that he came into and appreciated at Tennessee. So I thought that was an incredibly selfless statement to transfer. You've got to be thinking about the NFL to say, I don't even care if I start. Jimmy, that was pretty strong.
Yeah, it is pretty strong. And it shows that they've got a good team player, and it shows that he's buying into the culture at Tennessee as well, which, by the way, I think the culture is outstanding over there, what Josh Heupel's been able to do. They need him to be really good. Okay, let's face it. I was talking to somebody the other day about, the secondary has a lot of depth. Okay, they had a lot of depth last year. There's a difference in depth and quality depth. Tennessee just had a bunch of players that did not have very good years. And that included a guy that I thought would be a good player for him, Jalen McCullough. I didn't think he played that well. Haddon, Turnage, some of those guys. every now and then they would flash. Now, you mentioned Slaughter. To me, Slaughter, he is a hard hitter. I like his tackling ability. I think his ball skills could improve a little bit. I think that's probably a pretty good pick as far as the potential of somebody that could break out and have a good year for Tennessee in the secondary.